Welcome to this edition of Trojan News. I'm Lucas Honstein.
And I'm Camille Rosadacom, and we'll be your hosts for today. The Worthington Trojan gymnastics team has seen a lot of success. A big part of their success is Adrian High School student Holly Bullerman. Trojan News journalist Zach Hainga gives us more instincts on the athletic partnerships between Worthington and Adrian.
Hallie Bullerman is a senior who goes to Adrian High School, but competes in Worthington gymnastics. She's the only varsity gymnast who doesn't attend a Worthington school. She has been in Trojan gymnastics for 15 years. She's an all-around gymnast who has been competing at the varsity level since 7th grade. Hallie Bullerman, a senior at Adrian High School, shares what it's like competing for a different school.
I really like going to a different school and coming and competing here because there's just such a different atmosphere, and I only get so much time with them. It's not like I get to see them all day. It's only for a little bit, and I just make so many more connections with the people here.
Even though Hallie only sees her teammates for a few hours a day, she has clearly been able to make strong connections. These connections have helped her become successful in all events, as shown by her 5 appearances at state. Her favorite event is vault, but her best event is floor, based on her scores. Worthington Gymnastics coach Joni, who has been Hallie's coach for her entire career, believes Hallie has had a great impact on the team, even though she attends a different school during the day.
Obviously, she's an amazing gymnast, amazing team leader, and obviously one of our lead scorers probably for the last 4 years for sure. So obviously a very big and important impact on our team.
Addison Gerber, a senior gymnast, explains how her and Hallie compete with each other to make each other better.
No, I wouldn't say there is. I think we push each other to be better, but there's not really a competition.
This will be Addison's 12th year being teammates with Hallie. Clearly the team has made a bond through blood, sweat, and tears. Hallie has been able to perfect her routines, so she's able to focus on skills and not choreography.
Honestly, they don't change a lot. I like to keep my routines pretty much the same because it just doesn't need to be changed. If it's not broke, why fix it? But the floor routines change every 2 years because of the music.
Like her floor routine, the team is also making changes as they have so many senior gymnasts. Joni discusses her large senior class who will be graduating at the end of the school year.
It's always sad to see my girls go. I mean, most of these girls I've coached since they were probably 3 or 4 years old, so it's always sad. It's like they're my own kids.
Watch Hallie and the rest of the Trojan gymnasts flip their way to victory. This has been Zach Hainga for Trojan News. I didn't know that you could go to a different school and still compete in Worthington athletics. Maybe I'll start homeschooling to really work on my own craft.
I don't know, but hopefully they can make the long drive up to the cities for the state meet for the 10th year in a row. Speaking of traveling, have you ever been in a car accident here in the parking lot?
I haven't, but journalist Irma Hernandez has our next story on the car accidents here in the parking lot.
The Worthington High School student parking lot is full of drivers that on occasion crash into each other. What happens after the crash? Mr. Hastings has been principal for 2 years and assistant principal for 7 years. When an accident occurs, it is normally reported to him.
Typically what happens is I try to get as much details as possible, like where it happened, what time, damage to the vehicle, if you suspect who was maybe next to you, and then I try to go on from there. Sometimes I get law enforcement involved as well because a hit and run can be considered a crime as well too.
Officer Dan is District 518 School Resource Officer. A law enforcement officer, he tends to be involved too if needed.
So how we get involved is usually because the insurance companies want some type of a form or information to be able to give to each other and that kind of stuff forever. So we get involved, and it's either going to be an exchange of information between the two people that were involved, or it'll be a state accident report that'll be done. And that'll have a lot of different information of like what caused it, who caused it, and the information of the insurance and how to get a hold of people.
But these crashes aren't anything new. Miss Hastings is a graduate and a teacher at Worthington High School.
Once I found my car in the parking lot, it had a huge dent on the side, so I was pretty sad. I used to drive like a big old mom car, and so it was always fun to take my friends around.
A lot of factors go into a car crash, even as simple as something like the weather.
It all depends on the time of the season and stuff. So far, I think in the parking lot we've had about 3 or 4 of them in the student parking lot here. When winter picks up, we'll see a lot more come in the parking lot just due to the ice and the snow.
Another factor in parking lot accidents is students' lack of attention behind the wheel.
The biggest thing that I see is a lot of kids that are distracted or they are speeding, going too fast in the parking lot.
Finally, one last factor is a lack of experience from our newest drivers.
Our newest drivers are students that have just maybe turned 16, that are new drivers. I think some of our veteran drivers, maybe some of our juniors and seniors that have been driving a while, are not as at risk, but probably our newest drivers are the most at risk for creating some kind of accident or hit and run.
Remember, drive safe or you'll find yourself talking to Mr. Hastings and Officer Dan. This has been Irma Hernandez for Trojan News.
Wow, snow fell recently too. Hopefully we don't have any car accidents anytime soon.
Speaking of snow, winter sports are just around the corner. Worthington High School boys hockey have been working hard for their upcoming season. Lucas Hoinstein has an inside look on what the boys are doing to prep up for their season.
Winter sports are just around the corner, and hockey is one of them. The Worthington High School boys hockey team has been putting in some work to skate into the season. Caden Van Briesen, a senior player and captain on the team, fills the responsibility of being a veteran player on the team.
Yeah, as a senior, I'm one of the oldest kids on the team. I have a lot more responsibility as a senior and like captain. A lot of the younger kids look up to me, and it's my job to show them the ways, you know.
Caden has his work cut out for him. His leadership could further the progress of his team because having a strong leader will be a good foundation for the team. Tyler Nienkerk, the head coach for the boys hockey team, has been kicking these boys into shape, and here's how he's doing it.
So just the emphasis is always on hard work, and that we're the hardest working team on the ice. That's one thing that we control. Every practice, every game, we can control that if we're going to be the hardest working team. For there on out, it's limiting shots on net and working to get more of our own shots on net.
Nienkerk has a plan for his team to take on this season, and with the new addition to the team as a Brazilian exchange student, Alvaro Zerenko Boncher will be taking a spot as a goalie.
Alvaro's going to do fantastic. He was a roller goalie over in Brazil, and you can see he's played the position. So just once he gets a little more used to the ice, he's gonna do really well.
Spencer Nickel is a junior at the Worthington High School and a varsity hockey player. He explains his thoughts on how this hockey season is going to go.
I don't know. I think it'll be a little struggle right away. Just got a whole bunch of new kids and just got to work hard and we'll get her done. And hopefully it turns out good for us.
The boys are working hard to better themselves at every practice. It looks like our boys are going to have their work cut out for them.
These boys are going to have to work hard if they want their season to go the way they want it to. Let's wish them the best of luck and puck up this season. This has been Lucas for Trojan News.
You're in here? Scream it, D1. Trojan!
Those boys are sure putting in the work. The boys' home opener against the Fairmont Cardinals is December 12th at 7 p.m. at the Worthington Arena. Come and cheer on these boys and wish them the best of their luck for their season. Hey Lucas, if you had to choose to change something about how your car sounds, which one would you choose to change from your car, the stereo or the exhaust?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's see if this story helps you understand more. Here's a Trojan News journalist, Angel Lopez, with more details about how a car gets to volume.
WHS students have modified their cars in different ways. A popular modification is an exhaust and speakers to increase the noise of their car. Carlos Mendoza, a senior at WHS, explains the excitement of hearing loud cars. He currently has a car, but he doesn't believe it's loud enough.
No, I think it's a beautiful sound, you know. I'd fall in love. I'd listen to that over music, you know. They just need to, grow up, it's legal, Nothing you could do about it.
Carlos hopes he will be able to add an exhaust for around $1,400 to $1,500 so that he can make his car heard on the streets of Worthington. A junior at WHS, Celso Almanza, boasts that he has one of the loudest cars with his 13 speakers. His family is the reason why he loves pumping up the volume.
Started when my uncle showed me his sound system, and I just fell in love with it.
The investments in his car are large and ever growing. Many modifications take place at a home garage. It allows cars owners to gain mechanical experience. Junior, a sophomore, expresses his interest in loud cars as it makes him feel heard driving down the street.
I think they like it. It's loud. They can hear it. It has a deep tone and it's aggressive. As we can see, some students choose loud exhaust over loud music and others choose loud music over loud exhaust. But it's all music to all ears. This has been Angel Lopez reporting for Trojan News.
So, after watching that, what would you rather have? A loud exhaust or a loud stereo?
It would probably be a loud exhaust. I just love how it sounds, although some do think it's a little controversial. Quick Trip has opened its second location in Worthington. WHS Trojan News journalist Jesus Gutierrez has stopped to see what it has to offer.
On October 5th, Quick Trip opened a second location, a truck stop in Worthington, located right off of Interstate 90. The Shopco building that stood here before was demolished, which gave Quick Trip the opportunity to open up a second location. Daniel Young, a CTSL corporate training store leader for Quick Trip, said timing in the company's expansion played a part in the construction's location.
Matter of timing. The company is looking at the midpoint between here and going more west. At a certain point, truck drivers can only drive a certain distance and time frame. So about 5 minutes in each direction from us would be the time frame cutoff. So it's perfect for them to have them where they can stop here, trade off drivers, and continue out west and have plenty of time.
In this new Quick Trip, they offer a variety of things, such as showers, a dining area, and self-checkouts. Two high school students, Wilmer Juarez and Gilberto Lopez, share their experience working at Quick Trip.
A typical day at work for me is, get to work, clock in, go off the task list, and depending on what I'm doing that day, I can either be in the kitchen or as guest service.
Well, it depends on what you're doing that day. Every single day you get given different tasks around the store. So, like taking out trash, cleaning inside the stores, the tables, just doing whatever needs to be done.
The new Quick Trip, due to its size, offers more variety for products, especially beverages.
Actually, I would say it's more the fresh blends. Thinking about it, being able to go someplace and actually getting a different type of drink than a soda or a tea or milk, and it actually be halfway decent and not something that makes you gain about 500 pounds when you drink it, it's actually pretty good.
Gilberto and Wilmer have been working at Quick Trip for about 4 months.
I think my favorite experience is just being able to work with my friends.
My favorite experience working there is getting to know more people as I go along, getting to know more coworkers.
When you need to grab something quick, stop by your local Quick Trip.
So, Lucas, do you buy your milk in a bag or in a plastic jug?
Oh, I definitely get my milk in a bag.
Well, head to Quick Trip because they have bagged milk. There are many options for you to choose from when it comes to sports at Worthington High School. One of the toughest sports you can join is wrestling. Trojan News journalist Ebenezer Shafar goes behind the scenes of leadership on the wrestling team.
Leadership is an important part of a sports team, especially in wrestling. Wrestlers who are more experienced usually are put into leadership roles to help guide the team throughout the season. At this time, there are no captains, but due to experience, there is still leadership amongst the wrestlers. Alex Galvez, a longtime Worthington wrestler, has been preparing to lead his team this season.
In the past recent years, I've seen high school wrestlers as captains and slowly build up the correct traits for a captain.
Chase Byrne, another longtime wrestler, uses the people before him as examples so he can make himself a better leader and wrestler.
I suppose I've been learning from people that have been ahead of me and already
had this role before me, just kind of watching them and learning from the mistakes that they made and how I can improve on their mistakes.
Coach Price, past Worthington wrestler, has a strong idea on how team mentality and leadership goes into wrestling.
Team mentality is huge when it comes to the sport of wrestling. Wrestling's a big mental sport. You have to have a tough mental attitude and stuff like that. You can't be willing to get broke, and you got to just keep going and going and going. And
I have the elbows in, I got the hand, elbows in here. He's probably locked.
so that's huge. You got to have good leaders in there that pick kids up when they're struggling, whether it be in school, at home, or in the sport of wrestling. You've got to have great leaders when it comes to that.
Alex Galvis hopes he surpasses his brother Oscar this year as a Trojan wrestler.
He was here last year. He was an amazing wrestler, very good. I want to be better than him though. So, yeah.
Even though his teammates and his coaches helped a lot, his number one inspiration to start wrestling was his dad.
I suppose my dad has always wrestled from when he was younger to about high school level, so I guess he kind of influenced me to come into the wrestling room and start practicing with my friends, and yeah.
I hope the leadership on the wrestling team helps the other wrestlers slam their way to a great season. This has been Ebenezer Shafar for Trojan News.
Hey Lucas, have you thought about wrestling?
No, I haven't. My appetite's too big for wrestling. Thank you for watching Trojan News. This has been Lucas
And Camilla.
See you next time.